Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube, folks. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at in the world. We are going to be talking Nervous Networks, CKB on the charts today, and we'll be trying to figure out what is going on right there. But before we do, check me out on Twitter at Real6Fig. This is where I'm dropping news, charts, information I find interesting. Speaking of things that are interesting, we did drop the video of the interview I had with Nervous Networks senior software engineer Jordan Mack last weekend. So this is available now. I will throw this at the end screen so you can just click on it. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long. So with that said, it is a really good video to just kind of listen to if you're into like podcasts or have a long drive. It's just kind of a fun video to kind of listen to. There's not really a whole lot of graphics, things like that in it. So with that said, let's get back on over to the charts. We can see that for the most part, we do have this little Elliott wave theory move to the upside. This could be this grander scheme for Elliott wave theory to move even higher. We've got the inverse head and shoulders on the charts, something that I've been talking about since July. So with that said, this is looking still really good in my opinion. Very nice corrective wave to the upside. I do think that there could be a chance we see another kind of corrective wave to go to the upside like this, quite possibly. Not guaranteeing anything. Everything just changes so fast day to day, especially with Bitcoin. Now let's take another look at Bitcoin. And today I was kind of messaging back and forth with Crypto TA, and we were kind of speculating that there could be some sort of a rising wedge that is forming on the Bitcoin charts. So just something to be cautious of. If you see the market's kind of tanking or something like that, it could be because of Bitcoin. So with that said, it's really at this squeeze point with this trend line here right now. But so we will see if Bitcoin wants to go up and make new all-time highs, and it very well could pop to the upside and then drop out of this rising wedge. So with that said, on the daily chart, it wouldn't surprise me to see this either go up to 75K in the next few days, or we simply, the bottom falls out and we come down to at least test this 50 moving average for a minimum, which would be right around 60,000. If things get really bad, we may be going down to the 200. At that point, we would be in some big trouble with Bitcoin, as this might end up being some sort of head and shoulders pattern that could be forming. So it's kind of in a interesting place right now for the market. And I will say that if we see price action hovering underneath this cloud, in the coming month, it's going to be very hard for price action to really come back from that, especially at this point in the game. So with that in mind, let's just go and take a peek at CKB and just see what it is doing. On the daily chart, we can still see that, we have a bearish candle here. It's not the end of the world right now. Still 18 hours left on this candle, but this is very, very low momentum candle to the downside. Nothing really to be worried about a whole lot. Let's go ahead and just look at this thing on the 4-hour chart. And we can see that we are still obeying this trend line. And we know that because if you look very carefully, you can see that the bears are pushing price down to this trend line, but the bulls are buying it back up, and we are maintaining this 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. So that is good to see. I do think that there could possibly be a chance that we see a breakthrough here, because these are some pretty heavy candles. So within the next 2 hours, I would like to see some sort of spinning top or some sort of doji star form to signal a reversal. Something like this candle right here, form next to this. So, I mean, with that said, this thing is still in this symmetrical squeeze very heavily. And we can see that this thing is still kind of pointing to the November 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th time frame like I've been speculating here the last week. So, I'm not going to be surprised to see if CKB trades from 0.027 up to 0.030 still within the next couple days. But if we start seeing CKB start entering this 0.026-ish level, we might be in for some trouble and possibly a retest of at least this 0.0245 level. That would be my guess. And I think if it fails at that level, we may see a retest of this 200 moving average. I do think that it would be safe to say this 200 moving average could possibly continue on like this, and we may see a series of corrective waves to the downside to retest some of this. And it may not happen, right away, but we could be seeing that in the works. But I'm hopeful that we get this next move to the upside. I mean, we can easily see that this is the end of the road right here. We've got Elliott wave theory to the upside. We know this. We've been tracking this. And then we can also see that we have the ABCDE corrective wave pattern that is forming. So when I say this is the end of the road, this is the end of the road. A new trend is about to develop. So hopefully it's not bearish, and there's really not much else to really kind of talk about at this point in time because the market is just kind of shifting sideways. And I do think that it is kind of waiting for Bitcoin. You can see that right now, the total crypto market cap almost kind of seems to be in the same symmetrical triangle squeeze. And you can kind of see this. But you can kind of see that at the end of this, there is kind of a bearish candle sticking down here. So I'm hoping we don't see a little reduction in crypto market cap. I could be looking at a couple $100 billion getting wiped here at the least. So yeah, I do think that, until this thing really starts to move, I think it's going to be any day, the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, that we see the market move. And let's just hope that it's not to the downside. So with that said, folks, I'm going to quit wasting everybody's time. And I do think that at this point, we might be seeing the possibility of some sort of rising wedge, like I was kind of mentioning earlier, that has now started to form. So I don't know. We kind of have a rising wedge inside of a rising wedge, to say the least. So big shout out to all the Patreons. Thank you all for supporting the channel. If you're interested in supporting the channel, it's $3 a month. You can get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day wherever you are at in the world.